Well, hello and welcome and hello. Thank you for tuning in to another exciting edition of Un Poco Mas. Today is August 29, 2023. It is 6:20 p.m. out here in beautiful sunny Los Angeles. 9:20 out in NYC. Hope it's a great day or night wherever you are and whenever you happen to be watching this. Um Today, of course, we would like to talk with you about Sofi Technologies Incorporated. It was up 23 cents on the day and 6 cents after hours. But before we do that, guys, just want to send all my love to Cutes. Cutie Strong, you see it up on the board above Sofi. Cutes is the furry canine member of our family unit. Princess J is Cutes belongs to Princess J, and I love them both very much. And today, Cutie came through like a champion yet again because she is a miniature bulldog with the heart of a lion, little Ariutz. But anyway, guys, much love to Princess J and Cutes, but we do want to talk also about SoFi Technologies Incorporated. And guys, extremely exciting news. Strong arm trading, which, as you know, is the analyst arm of Un Poco Mas, guys. And it is Un Poco Mas. That's the name of the show. Sorry, guys, I'm really, really tired. I was working very late last night on a special project, new business that we have. And I did not get much sleep and I've been all over the place, but I still want to bring you guys a video, however crappy it might be. It's still better than you little bastards deserve. But guys, SoFi Technologies Incorporated, of course, ticker symbol SOFI, up a total of 29 cents or about 3.5 points on the day. And really nothing to celebrate here, guys. The Algo pushed it up early and then the Algo traded it sideways. Volume was still pretty moderate at 24 million shares. Um, it was just very, very controlled. Like Upstart's up, 8.5, Affirm's up 7, Palantir's up 5. So a lot of the growths, I mean, even Lucid was up more than SoFi, and that stock is an absolute turd being propped up by Saudi money. Like, why don't they just buy the PGA Tour and just dump billions of dollars into it? Why don't they just give Jared Kushner like $20 billion? I mean, oh wait, they do all that stuff. Anyway, guys, Lucid is an absolutely terrible stock. In fact, I think they had some good engineering. Particularly their drive unit was really innovative and light and really, really cool. But God, the absolute asinine strategery of some of these companies. It's like, we're going to start with $150,000 vehicle that we can't even produce in any quantity. And then it's like, guys, I mean, how are you going to get to market? How are you going to get profitable? How are you going to make money? Do you have any plan that makes any kind of sense other than just an endless ring of dilution and bullshit and outside money coming in and then more rounds of bullshit and financing? It's like, Lucid, just get out of here. Anyway, guys, SoFi Technologies Incorporated ticker symbol is SOFI. And guys, the exciting news out of strong arm trading was we have raised our price target from $9.75 to $11.25. As you know, my prediction is, pardon me, my prediction. Let me have some delicious tap water, guys. Remember, you don't need to buy bottled water constantly. Most places tap water is perfectly safe and often barely palatable. So I would suggest you stop buying a bunch of crap and wasting your money and all that plastic and just drink some delicious tap water. Yes. God, it's gross, but oh, it quenches the thirst. Anyway, guys, what was I talking about? Yeah, raise the price target to $11.25. I've been at 9.75 for some time. Hurricane Lopez and Stock Karen are both very conservative, and she's very, very bitter, just not really open to change at all. Very set in her ways, but we were able to build a consensus and get our senior analyst Hurricane Lopez up to $11.25, which I still think is pretty conservative given the growth trajectory of the EBITDA, and particularly what influenced our decision is the deposit growth and the rate at which new checking account members and new members in general sign up for direct deposit. Direct deposit makes customers very sticky, and it implies with a high degree of probability that the deposit growth is going to continue. Um, SoFi is looking for profitability in Q4 right now. People keep saying one of the criticisms is, hey, it's just a bank. It's just a bank. What's the big deal? It's like Bill Shatner scatting. It's like, it's just a bank. It's just a bank. What's the big deal? He's like, oh my. And then Takei comes in. He's just like, oh my. But anyway, guys, I don't know where I'm going with any of this. I'm clearly very, very tired. I invite you all to just turn off this video, go watch like maybe a First Amendment audit, something of that nature. Is like name and badge number. It's like Miller 341. Name and badge numbers, constitutionally protected activity. It's like, okay, carry on. Like, no, tyrant. I'm like, dude, some of those guys crack me up. Rights crispy. Oh God. The things you do when you can't sleep. But anyway, guys. So we're game came from 975 to 1125. I'm calling for 1375 once we hit that net profit. But again, the reasoning, the critical points, guys, the deposit growth. And really, the fact is, I believe that the $8 level is not just a coincidence, guys. If you look at the chart here, you can see that we played both off the 813 level, which has been critical for a while, and then we moved back into the upward channel, which was this light blue line. You can see, the algo just pushed this up. This was not organic buying, pushing this up almost instantly, and it was not organic buying and selling that held it going sideways the rest of the day. But if you look at the trend, guys, there is nothing right now to suggest anyone wants to sell the stock below $8. That's why I believe a lot of the market makers have in fact flipped from short to long, or are in the process of doing so. The short finally started to come down. You see a ton of consolidation just around and above that $8 level between, say, 815 and 845, that area. This chart just screams that if the market keeps doing well, this is just going to rip back up. I mean, where do you see this thing, guys, selling off below $8? People keep talking about, oh, it went below $8 like once during pre-market. I'm not seeing it. I'm seeing a textbook setup for another run to the high side. And I think SoFi is undervalued right here. Thus, my price target of $11.25. Volume bottomed out yesterday below 20 million shares, and today was back up a little bit around 24 million. So if we can continue in an uptrend, get that market moving upward, have volume continue to accelerate upward, that is going to be a very bullish signal. This deceleration of the sell-off and then some consolidation on lower and lower volume, again, as I said yesterday, I believe is also a bullish signal. SoFi is sending me all kinds of bullish signals that the stock wants to go back up. I don't think anybody wants. A lot of the guys, they're like, oh, I'm going to buy back in at 6. Like, oh, I'm convinced finally. I'm bullish. Guys, let me tell you about cheap psychological tactics that shorts will tend to use. Shorts, bears, whatever, the FUD slingers, the trolls. Um, Basically, they say, I love SoFi. Like, I love SoFi. It's a great stock. They have so much long-term potential. However, don't buy right now. I'm not going to buy right now. I'm going to buy back in at 6 because it was just at 4, and it's definitely after the next ER, it's definitely going to go back to 6. I'm going to buy then because I love the stock. I love the management. I love it long term. I mean, guys, that is basic cheap psychology and telling you don't buy. Buy later, don't buy now is the same as saying don't buy, because the only decision you have to make is whether to buy the stock at its current level. You don't get to wish the stock from 850 to 6 and rebuy in. Now, may it fall to 6? Of course it might. Anything could happen. There could be some huge scandal. The economy could completely fall apart. There could be some other war. Who knows, guys? There could be some other broadside on the whole student loan system, the whole monetary system. We could be attacked by aliens. Anything can happen here, guys. But the point is, your decision, and I'm always talking about being careful with your entry points, and I believe in that, and I believe you should wait for your entry points. But guys, sometimes you miss your chance. I mean, this stock has just been down below 5 repeatedly. And if you're bullish, you would have bought. And if you think the stock is worth $6, why didn't you sell at 11.50 or 11.70 and then buy back in at 6? So you're telling me you're bullish and you don't even own any shares. And you're not going to own any shares because you're a turd. Because if you wanted to buy shares at 6, you would have bought shares at 4.50. You would have bought shares at 5 if you were bullish. What's changed? The thesis has only gotten better and better. And you're telling me, hey, the stock's just going to lose, 30% of its value and then I'm going to buy in. Yeah, of course, guys. I mean, hey, I love Microsoft, but it's just a little hot. I'm just going to buy back in at 200. I mean, I love what they're doing with AI. I love their profit. I love their dividend. I'm Microsoft, but by now, I'm just going to get into 200. That's the way to do it. That's the ticket. Mum's word. So it's just a bunch of bullshit, guys. You have to decide, do you want to buy the stock? Do you think it's a good value? You could say, hey, I think it's overvalued here. I'll buy back in, or I will buy in for the first time if it goes to 6 or 650 or 7 or whatever you want to do. More power to you. Health and happiness. De salud. Um, if you think $2 million is merely financing, de salud, Don Corleone. Um, anyway, guys, this the executives with SoFi, they bring numbers. They bring projections, they sandbag those projections, and they beat their numbers. And they basically told the truth to investors, to the public, pretty much laid things out there. Their strategy, their numbers, how they plan to do it, who they're going to hire, why they make acquisitions, how they fit into the grand plan, the flywheel strategy, all of these things. Now, if you look at a lot of the bearish arguments, they're not, they're like, we did a deep dive on SoFi. You did a deep dive right into your own easehole. You're pulling these arguments out of your ass. You're saying, okay, SoFi's just a bank, but show me another bank that's, can grow deposits 25% in 1 quarter. Show it to me. You can't. Show me another bank that's signing up this many members for direct deposit. You can't. Show me another fintech bank that, is going to get a bank charter. You're not going to. They're not giving them out, guys. They put the brakes on this thing. SoFi played this thing perfectly. They played the banking regulators like a violin. They're still doing crypto. They're doing banking. They're making an extra 2 points on the interest spread because they're a bank. And they just timed things and just planned it perfectly. And I don't know, guys. I mean, when you think about everything that SoFi is, everything that there's doing, there are a couple of legitimate things. They are way overweight personal loans. Those loans are holding up well. They're not defaulting yet. It could happen. I don't think it will because of the quality of SoFi's borrower. The brokerage, is saying it's weak. It's not full featured. That's very true. I don't think they want to be full featured, giving people like complex option strategies, but Noto said they are bringing on covered calls, which is a very welcome thing because covered calls are one of the really smart ways, to play options. And as long as you are conservative and you do them properly and you think about them and you stay on top of them, you're probably going to make some nice extra income without a lot of effort or risk. So them bringing on covered calls is really nice to hear, but I think they're going to flesh that out and bring out a set of, trading tools that make sense for their mission. I don't think they're looking for, the day traders, the day turders, sort of the hardcore trading junkies. I don't think you're ever going to find them on, SoFi's cute little, sunny app. I don't really think that's who it's for. But to be able to sell covered calls and to do some basic things, in the options world is, pretty important to a lot of investors because it's a good way to make some extra money with your shares. And, what I recommend with options is always sell options for the most part, collect premium, let the power of time decay work for you rather than against you. Because if you buy options, like the market makers are in control, they control the prices of stocks and they can inflict maximum pain on your punk ass. Like you're their prison wife. In any case, guys, SoFi Technologies Incorporated, you can see the chart. It's back in the blue channel solidly. It's in a short-term upward trend. It's in a midterm, I believe, consolidating into that upward trend. It is very slight, but if you go from here to here to here, it is still making slightly higher lows, and that is basically, in my book, the definition of an uptrend. So I'm seeing what I want to see, and I'm trying my best to sell that nonsense. Uh, no, but seriously, I think the support held. I think the market makers are basically flipping where 8 was their resistance point. Now it's their support point. I mean, look at the analysts, guys. Look at the narrative. I mean, you see so many positive articles on SoFi. You know, wherever you look these days, it's like Yahoo's positive. You see a lot of the guys from like Investor Place who have been, bearish on SoFi for like the last 2 years. They're bullish all of a sudden. You see positive articles everywhere on tip ranks. If you look at the news score the last 7 days, SoFi's buried to the positive side. The sector average is more in the middle. Media buzz, news sentiment, sector average is 64 this week. They're 100% positive. Why is that, guys? What happened to the Chia Pet? Why isn't the Chia Pet doing, 5 reiterations of his sell this quarter like he did last quarter? Because they're not trying to drive it down as far as they could into the seller and destroy the stock like they were. It wouldn't work, guys. Retail will buy up those shares, even institutions. I mean, Aunt Kathy's up in the attic. She'll buy those shares. Dude, if bears get too silly, if shorts get too silly, Aunt Kathy can grab up 5 million shares, no problem. She's got more money than Anthony Noto, even. And I thought he had more money than God. He's got better hair. Um, Anyway, guys, that's the SoFi stock. The ticker symbol's SOFI. Of course, what do you think is going to happen? I have absolutely no idea. No, I think really we're going to play, obviously the market was selling off here. They attacked SoFi. I mean, that it sold off a hell of a lot more than, the market or the NASDAQ. You're talking pump to 1150, but if you start at 950, which is just reasonable, it only sold off and held in the low 8s. So it's not really that bad for a SoFi earnings. I mean, you look over here, started at, 650, and they didn't stop until the stock was like $4.50. So to go from 950 to like holding now 850 is really not bad at all. So guys, the SoFi stock, the short, just let me get you the short interest. I know you turds like that. It probably doesn't mean anything. Went down a little bit more today. So the borrowed change returned another million shares, they're saying, but cost to borrow was still 2.3%. It's a little high for those numbers. But look at the last 7 days. The short has gone down almost a full percent as in interest of the free float. Free float on loan has actually crept back up, which means I think more or less there's a few less short long players. Shares on loan have increased 11%, so that's the first time that's gone up like that in quite some time. Utilization up to 28%. So it's weird because it goes like inverse. Like the estimated short interest of free float goes down and all the other numbers seem to go up as if the short's increasing. So you guys can infer what you will from that. People who understand this stuff just a bit better than me will probably tell me down in the comments what the hell is going on. Guys, I like the rally to continue here. I don't think it's done. I think SoFi, their earnings report at the worst justified the stock staying where it was. I think, in my mind, it justifies a move up to around the $11.25 region. As I've said, strong arm trading, Hurricane Lopez, Un Poco Mas, Stock Karen, Danny Deals, we've all come to the consensus, $11.25. So huge news there. Bears are speculative turds using cheap dime store psychological tactics. Market makers seem to have flipped support and resistance at 8. So that used to be resistance. Now it's support. Q4, I believe, is a lock. If we had just the same rate of deposit growth, we'd go from 12.5 to 15 billion to 17.5 billion. allows SoFi to make a ton more loans in a high interest rate environment. Those loans equal net interest income. Net interest income equals GAAP net profit, turds. And it's just as simple as that. Again, it's Danny Deals. It's Un Poco Mas. It's the SoFi stock. It's August 29, 2023. It's 6:40 p.m. And who gives a shit? Who gives a fuck? You guys have a great night. We'll talk at you again whenever I get around to it. Peace.